So in this long video, I will continue to talk about amino acids for immortality. It is again, I believe, very important video. So, and it is very strange situation with some amino acids which are not recommended, but they are very, very good for health. They work like miracle. And I don't know why this such position of this opinion of medical professionals about some amino acids that they are not healthy. They are healthy, and I rely not on my opinion. I rely on scientific publications, and it looks like medical professionals don't read scientific publications. Unfortunately, I am a scientist. I rely on medical publications, or I mean scientific publications. Okay, as always, I recommend you to download presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. You will get access to the link for better understanding, and also to the references, to the source of information. You can make your own research. Again, I base this research on scientific publications. It is not just my opinion, but it is, again, it is science. It is true science. And unfortunately, I see that medical professionals are not reading scientific publications. They don't know probably real science behind this amino acids and behind this biochemistry. Okay, let's go. Amino acids are commonly consumed by athletes and bodybuilders to boost muscle mass and delay fatigue. Also some, pardon. Also, some older people use amino acids to support the immune system, improve memory, alleviate depression, prevent headaches, help insomnia, and treat anti-aging, aging-related disorders. However, excessive intake can cause imbalances, amino acid concentration, and metabolites, and affect cell transport of a group of amino acids due to competition for carrier sites in the cell membrane. Okay, this is a real problem, and I have a solution for this. It's combination of amino acids with raw starch, like raw potato starch and raw cassava starch. Then this even large doses of amino acids will not produce high peaks of amino acid concentration in the blood, and then it is much more safe. Well, okay, let's go. And chronic intake of high amounts of individual amino acids or their derivatives can alter biochemical pathways and cellular functions, making making it necessary to discuss the use of amino acids as supplements and also mention potential side effects. Okay, we have 20 amino acids in the human body and in all living beings. So there are some non-polar, basic, and acidic, and polar, and non-polar, basic, and acidic. So all together 20. Okay, and then further concentration. We have to what we have to consider concentrations of amino acids in the blood plasma. I present here. Glutamine is the highest concentration. Next is alanine, proline, and glycine, valine, CO9, lysine, leucine, serine, asparagine, taurine, histidine, isoleucine, glutamate. Glutamate is not so high concentration, and why? Because in the blood it's very quick reacts with ammonia and gets converted to glutamine. Glutamate is important actually. Ornithine and tyrosine and phenylalanine and cysteine, arginine, citrulline, and methionine. Sorry if I pronounce not well, but okay, but you can read it for yourself, and you can go to the links and learn more about these amino acids. Amino acid concentration differs significantly between the blood plasma and overall body intracellular in concentrations, and intercellular concentration are generally higher than plasma concentration for most amino acids, especially non-essential ones, and especially I would say about glutamate. Glutamate, very high concentration in muscles, but not so much in the blood. And there is a good reason for this. Okay, this is plasma concentration. You can go to the sources. You see that glutamate and glutamine together is the highest concentration in the plasma. So it shows how important this glutamate and glutamine for your body. It's really important because glutamine is transporting ammonia from muscles and from guts to liver, and then liver is detoxing it and converts to urea, and then with urine it is getting out from your body. 9 amino acids considered essential because the human body cannot synthesize them, and they must be obtained through dietary sources. So you can see the list. Different studies have shown that supplementing with essential amino acids, it's quite a lot. It is 5-7 grams per kilo for average man. And this is efficient to promote protein synthesis, increasing physical strength and arterial oxygen transfer, and reducing muscular catabolism in the elderly. This is a problem again, guys, because look, the muscles are this is a storage of proteins, and if all the people don't consume enough of protein with food, and also protein is not digested quite well, then you have your body needs these amino acids, and what it is using muscles as a source of these amino acids, and and then all the people develop sarcopenia. So you have to understand that in older age, supplementation with amino acids is absolutely necessary, because digestion of protein, especially plant-based protein, is very low, and it is again medical professionals recommend to reduce consumption of protein in old age. There is some logic in it, because protein is not digested, it gets to colon and gets fermented by pathogens into ammonia and other toxins, and then these toxins accumulate in your body, and then your body develops this inflammation and related to aging, and then all go exponentially, and eventually people die. But if you reduce consumption of protein, you die from sarcopenia and some damage to your bones, because also bones are also the source of some amino acids. Bones are not only calcium, but it is magnesium, calcium, and protein in the bones, and magnesium absolutely also necessary for stability of bones. Okay, branch chain amino acids like leucine, isoleucine, and valine are popular in sport nutrition and bodybuilding for their role in growth hormone production and muscle protein synthesis. Glycine, proline, and serine are sometimes classified as conditional essentially amino acids and can be used as supplements during period of stress or illness. And again, glycine, for example, is very cheap, and it has many benefits. I was talking about this a lot, and I consume a lot of glycine together with other amino acids and whey protein also. So, okay, this is how amino acids are categorized. So there are essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids, and conditional essential amino acids. Pardon. Branch chain amino acids only 3, but they are important because they stimulate production of growth hormone and stimulating the muscle growth. Much better than injections of growth hormone. In elderly, I tried myself, it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. It is much recommended, it is very expensive. I tried for also like 6 months, no improvement in muscle strength and muscle mass, no improvement. So I would not recommend it. So branch chain amino acid supplementation in large doses increases ammonia production in muscles during exercise and leads to mitochondrial dysfunction, negatively affecting muscle protein balance and brain function. Again, you see, so if you consume a lot of branch chain amino acids, so instead of improvement, you have brain dysfunction, and this muscle protein synthesis is disturbed. So in such situations, the What helps? This ammonia, how to remove ammonia from, In such situation, when you have high concentration of ammonia, enzyme glutamine synthetaser converts ammonia and glutamate. Glutamate is stored in the muscle, and it converts it to glutamine, and glutamine goes to blood and then transport this ammonia to the liver. A shortage of glutamate in muscles leads to impaired alpha-ketoglutarate synthesis through glutamate, and this alpha-ketoglutarate absolutely essential for energy production. It is AKG is a nitrogen-free portion of glutamate and key intermediate in the citric acid cycle to produce energy within mitochondria. One of the main functions of glutamine is to transport ammonia from stomach and from your gut, especially from colon, and also from muscles to the liver. And ammonia is toxic waste product of energy metabolism, and then it is also produced in lungs. And then it has to be transported to the liver, and liver cells break down glutamine into ammonia and the glutamate, and converted further ammonia to urea, and urea is a less toxic water-soluble product, and then it is removed with urine. Okay, so this is how it works. You see that glutamine, glutamine, if it is glutamine goes from blood, it is converted to glutamate and ammonia. And glutamate further, without splitting glutamate to ammonia and alpha-ketoglutarate, it is improving energy production. So it is, again, you see that it is how it works. This glutamate and glutamine, highest concentration in the blood, it is because they are very, very important for your body, for detoxing and also for functioning, so to reduce concentration of ammonia and other toxins in your body. So here it's again also how to glutamine converted to glutamate by removing ammonia. Okay, or BIC, it can be in muscles, glutamate reacts with ammonia and converted to glutamine, so it is again they are working together. Glutamate is synthesized and stored in muscle tissue, where it is the most abundant amino acid. Studies have shown that ingestion of monosodium glutamate in 150 milligram per kilogram of body weight per day, it's actually a lot. It is more than 10 gram for average man body weight, like 70 kilo. It is more than 10 gram per day. It is quite a lot, and it is not only taken per day. It is taken before exercises. It is increasing glutamate levels 18 times. Okay, 18 times, and also which results in increased glutamine production in the blood and decreased ammonia serum levels during the exercise. So what is happening? You exercise and your cells, muscle cells are damaged. This is normal. They are damaged, and when they are damaged, then ammonia is produced, and then ammonia is reacting with glutamate, because otherwise you will have stress in the muscles, and you'll feel tired. So, and then supplementation with glutamate and monosodium glutamate increases gastric juice acidity, supports protein digestion, and improves blood circulation by stimulating nitric oxide production, which plays a crucial role in vasodilation. And okay, you can read this publication. It is very important. You see that monosodium glutamate is actually very beneficial for health. And combination of glutamate and glutamine with other amino acids may prevent muscle loss-related sarcopenia in the elderly. Also, glutamate serves as precursor for other amino acids. Okay, you see that how production of gastric acid is improved. This black column improved in comparison with no glutamate. After this is basic level, and then after maximum, and so it is again basic level. If you consume monosodium glutamate, it will increase a basic level, but if you digest protein, then it has to be production of acid has to go further, and then it is very effectively increase the acidity in the stomach juice and improves protein digestion. So it is very, very good. And then again, people in Hong Kong demonstrate that it is very healthy to consume a lot of meat with monosodium glutamate. They consume a lot of monosodium glutamate. Not 5 grams is recommended by medical professionals, but much more. Pardon. The intestinal epithelium layer relies heavily on energy for digestion and absorption process due to high metabolic activity and rapid turnover of epithelium cells. This is epithelium cells in our guts. Glutamate and glutamine are significant fuel source for enterocytes and colonocytes in epithelium layer during high energy and demand. So it is again, if you digestion, if it goes digestion, you need high energy demand to absorb these nutrients. And again, this glutamate and glutamine are very, very important fuel source. So it very helps to consume glutamate, like monosodium glutamate. But monosodium glutamate, again, it depends. If you rely on glucose, on carbohydrates as a main source of energy, then glutamine may help. But if you follow ketogenic or carnivore diet, it is monosodium glutamate is beneficial. Okay, blood vessel endothelium cells play a major role in regulating metabolic and gas exchanges and blood coagulation, vascular tone, blood flow, and blood vascular permeability. And endothelium cells in blood vessels can utilize glutamine and glutamate as a source of energy. So you see that high concentration of glutamate and glutamine in blood why it is so, because it can be used as source of energy for endothelium cells in our blood vessels. In the arterial and endothelium layer, glucose, glutamine, and glutamate account for 44, 19, and 36% of total CO2 production. But if you are in ketosis, then of course not glucose, but ketonic bodies, and the short-chain fatty acids used as source of energy, then it would be even more. So energy produced from glutamate. So, and glutamate and glutamine are essential for proliferation of endothelium cells, and because for production of new cells and angiogenesis. So angiogenesis, growth of new blood vessels. It is very important. So okay, this is enterocytes in the gut, in the colon, and also in small intestine, and is glutamine from the lumen of the gut goes inside, and then it is used for energy production and uses source of energy, and it increases production of energy because it can be converted in 2 steps into alpha ketoglutarate. So it is very, very important. And why glutamine instead of glutamate? Again, if you rely on ketogenic diet or especially carnivore diet, you have a lot of ammonia produced in the colon, and to deactivate this ammonia, you have to supply glutamate or monosodium glutamate, and then glutamate is reacting with ammonia, gets converted to glutamine, and glutamine goes and used as source of energy in the endothelium cells epithelium cells of the gut. Glutamine a key excitatory neurotransmitter in the brain, plays a crucial role in the brain ability to adapt to learning and develop memories. The brain maintains a relatively low extracellular glutamine concentration compared to the high concentration in the blood. And glutamate is converted to GABA in the brain. GABA this conversion of glutamate to GABA maintain the brain balance of excitation and inhibition. So it is very important. But again, the concentration keeps steady. Even at high concentration in the blood, concentration in the brain keeps steady. Consuming monosodium glutamate before bedtime can improve sleep. If you have shortage of the glutamate in the brain, then it helps, and I see how it helps. It helps both as a source of sodium. Sodium keeps your blood. So if you follow ketogenic or carnivore diet, you need more sodium. You need more sodium because otherwise your kidney will remove more water from your body, and to keep water in the body, you need higher concentration of sodium, and the monosodium glutamate is a source of sodium and also glutamic acid. Medical professionals claim that overconsumption of monosodium glutamate, it's about 5 grams a day, may lead to adverse effects like obesity, insomnia, muscle cramps, anxiety, restfulness. Again, it works only if you rely on carbohydrates as the main source of energy. Then better to consume glutamine, not glutamate. But again, if you're on ketogenic diet, forget about these limitations. You can consume much more. So again, ketogenic and carnivore diet, with ketogenic and carnivore diet, much higher concentration of monosodium glutamate, about 20 grams without side effects. Absolutely. I consume about 10 grams before exercise, and during the day also 10 grams more, for 10 or even 20 grams more. So, and I replace all table salt with monosodium glutamate, and I feel much better actually. It is also, the food tastes better. So I discussed it, okay, pardon. This is how glutamine and glutamate work in the brain. So the glutamine is transported to synapse, and then in the synapse it is converted to glutamate, and glutamate is the work to transmit the signal. Okay, so this is how it works. Glutamine, so glutamate have one ammonia group, glutamine has 2 ammonia groups, and alpha ketoglutarate no ammonia. And okay, this is again how it works. You have glutamine converts to glutamate. Glutamate can be converted to GABA to keep the balance between excitatory and suppressive and exhibitory inhibitory and excitation, balance between inhibitory and excitation. So, and then alpha ketoglutarate, absolutely important for production of energy. I was talking in some video about the use of alpha ketoglutarate as supplement. Yeah, it works in sense, but it is absolutely stupid, in my opinion, because you take alpha ketoglutarate in your gut is not go to the blood. It is not transported to the cells of your body, because it is converted in the cells or in the epithelium cells or in the gut, in the intestine. Converted to glutamate, and then further converted to glutamine, and what goes to the blood is glutamine. So it has no sense to supplement alpha ketoglutarate, because it's very expensive. Instead, you can use monosodium glutamate, and the monosodium glutamate work, and it will go to the blood, and also it can react with ammonia, and So, and it will transport ammonia from gut to the liver, so it will detoxify your blood, and also when it is in the intestine, glutamate reacts with ammonia in the colon, and it is detoxing this ammonia. And of course, in this case, glutamine is go to your blood, but again, this at least it is better. That at least it works and reduce concentration of ammonia in your blood. So glutamate is very important. So when brain chain amino acids are consumed together, they compete for transport into muscle cells. This competition can reduce the uptake of leucine, potentially limiting its effectiveness in stimulating protein synthesis. Yes, yeah, but okay, but for short while. For short while, using leucine alone is more effective than a mixture of all three brain chain amino acids, and for improving sarcopenia. But it is again, it is only temporary because it will give only transitory stimuli effect on protein synthesis. Then in long term, leucine cannot be used, or it has to be combined with other amino acids and also like whey protein, maybe other proteins which are easily digested. A commonly used dose of leucine is 5 grams daily. If you consume too much, again, this is it is not good. So leucine 5 grams is enough. Leucine may enhance the anabolic effect of a protein meal. So it is again anabolic means growth of synthesis of protein in muscles and in your body. For example, addition of 5 grams of leucine to a beverage containing 6 grams of whey protein increases muscle protein synthesis to the level compatible to that induced by 25 grams of whey protein in young men. Okay, but again, what is interesting? Again, some people don't rely on vegetarian diet, so they can use pea protein. It is cheaper, but I don't know. Okay, it is in Thailand. It is whey protein cheaper than $30 American per kilo. It is 900 Thai baht, and pea protein 3 times cheaper. But again, I don't know. It is also water soluble. I didn't try pea protein because whey protein is available, and it tastes good and easily dissolvable in water. I don't see why I have to use. So I'm not so poor to save money on this protein. But again, whey protein can be used not 25 grams, even more. That's 50 grams maybe a day, no problem. Co-ingestion of glutamine and leucine synergistically promoted skeletal muscle growth in mice after 24 hours of fasting. Oral intake of glutamine and leucine that increases the rate of strength recovery after exercise compared to placebo in men. Okay, there are many research on this. So glutamine and leucine is very popular. Glutamine, again, if you rely on carbohydrate, it is your choice would be glutamine, but glutamine is relatively expensive, and again, I don't see any advantage of use it because if you really about health and longevity, then you have to stay on ketogenic and especially carnivore diet, and then instead of glutamine, you have to use glutamate. Combination of glutamate and glutamine with essential amino acids may have a synergistic effect to prevent the development of sarcopenia due to muscle loss in the elderly. Again, you see that essential amino acids, it's all 3, but leucine, yeah, you can use leucine. Both glutamate and glutamine supplements are beneficial for piglet health and growth. In piglets, combining lactic acid and lactic acid works as prebiotic. It can be used by bacteria in your colon to produce short-chain fatty amino acids. Can be used to produce as a source of energy, so it is beneficial. So, and again, if you combine lactic acid and glutamine, it improves intestinal function, morphology, and of this in small intestine, and barrier function, while increasing butyric acid or butyrate production in the colon. Butyrate is absolutely important as a source of energy for these cells. And then also what this glutamine, it is not that for muscle growth, for muscle regeneration and muscle growth. After exercise, some cells in muscles are damaged, and then macrophages are coming and they consume these damaged cells, and they produce glutamine as a result. Then glutamine works as a signal molecule to boost the proliferation of the cells, of the satellite cells in the muscles. You see that again how it works. Your muscles, to grow in muscles, you have to give some signal, and signal is ammonia. Ammonia produced by ammonia and glutamine produced by macrophages, and then that's also if you use glutamate, monosodium glutamate as supplement, then glutamate will react with ammonia after exercises with ammonia in your cells. You will have better endurance, and I do it, and I see that endurance is quite much better. And then also what is happening, this conversion of glutamate to glutamine give a signal to satellite cells to grow and to create new muscle fibers. Okay, so that's again. Beta hydroxy beta methylbutyrate is metabolite of leucine with a positive effect on protein balance, repair, strength, and function of skeletal muscle. Studies performed with older people have demonstrated that HMB attenuates the development of sarcopenia. Specifically, HMB have been demonstrated to improve lean body mass and preserve muscle strength and function in older people, particularly those with sarcopenia and frailty. The effect of HMB on muscle growth and strength are often most pronounced when combined with exercise training. Yes, that's true. HMB is available as a calcium salt and less often as a free form. The recommended doses is 3 or maybe 5 grams per day. Most studies report that HMB is well tolerated and have no side effects. I consumed up to 10 grams. There was, maybe it is not as efficient, not twice more efficient than 5 grams, but it is yet okay, no side effect. So you see that combination of whey protein with HMB is less efficient than a combination of whey protein with leucine. So you have to think what is better, and this leucine is 33 American dollars per kilo in Thailand, and HMB is about three times more expensive. But again, the use of HMB may be more beneficial if in larger doses than leucine. So you have to think what to do. It's whey protein, again, no side effects. You can consume a lot of whey protein, more than 25 grams a day. It's no problem. And combine it with leucine or with HMB. HMB, I use HMB because HMB has no side effects. Leucine has side effects. Okay. So impaired angiogenesis, this is the formation of new blood vessels, is linked to aging and may contribute to age-related diseases. So it's a well-known fact. Several amino acids, improving glutamine, pardon, you read yourself. Serine and glycine can serve as metabolic fuel for endothelium cells. It is in your blood vessels to promote angiogenesis. So you see that even high concentration of glycine, it's very cheap, but also you use glutamate, and which converts to glutamine, and also work as metabolic fuel for endothelium cells and promote angiogenesis, promote blood flow is so beneficial. So glutamine is essential for vascular expansion, endothelium cell proliferation, and metabolism, particularly for replenishing this citric acid cycle intermediates and asparagine synthesis. Okay, this is again glutamine in blood, so it is you consume monosodium glutamate. It is getting converted glutamine to transport ammonia to the liver, and the glutamine already can be used as source of energy by endothelium cells, and it promotes the growth of these endothelium cells and also angiogenesis, so the formation of new blood vessels. So it is very beneficial. In mice, topical application of sodium glutamate stimulated blood vessel growth, improved skin blood circulation, and increased hair growth in a dose-dependent manner. I was talking about this in previous video. So, and I should say, recently I started to use it 10% water solution monosodium glutamate to my hair, and they grow much thicker. Of course, it is I use it shorter than 2 months. And I have to wait maybe 6 months to see how thick they grow, but certainly they are thicker, grow very thick, and so certainly it works not only for mice but also for humans. So it's again, you see, glutamate is so beneficial, and it is again so much different. My opinion is so much different from opinion of these medical professionals who recommend to limit consumption of monosodium glutamate only 5 grams. Again, 20 grams if you follow ketogenic diet or carnivore diet, 20 grams is no problem. And if you replace all table salt with monosodium glutamate, even 40 grams would not be problem. So you can consume even more than the 20 grams per day. So regular exercise, especially aerobic exercise, has been shown to stimulate angiogenesis and improve capillary blood flow, potentially mitigated some of the age-related decline in the brain capacity. Yeah, pardon. Okay, this is a picture. You may see this in my previous video. So it's again 10% monosodium glutamic acid, but again, it is not only glutamic acid with sodium. So monosodium glutamate works quite well, and 10%. And you see a difference. Control here don't grow, and 10% grow so well. And you see how blood vessels grow. This angiogenesis is absolutely perfect, and again, it works for me also. Will it work for you? I don't know, but you can try. You can try. So as it's shown in this publication, it takes 40-50 minutes after oral intake of monosodium glutamate in amount 10-15 grams to get maximum concentration of glutamate in the blood plasma, and then after 100 minutes it is reduced. So then combination of this monosodium glutamate with HMB, calcium salt of HMB, can be taken in 60-120 minutes before exercise to help reduce muscle damage during exercise. HMB is protecting muscle damage, and then together with monosodium glutamate it works even better. And then when monosodium glutamate and this salt, calcium salt of HMB, combined with, and when it is combined with raw potato starch or raw cassava starch, the migration of glutamate and HMB from the small intestine to the blood will slow down. Then it will work longer than 120 minutes, and then we may expect better endurance during longer aerobic exercise. This is what I see. I go cycling for 3 hours, and then I see that endurance is work like miracle. So much better than before, much better. So monosodium glutamate 5 grams, whey protein 25-50 grams per day, leucine 5 grams, and high protein foods can be consumed together with also, I mean, pardon, this kind of mistake. These supplements, whey protein, monosodium glutamate, and leucine can be combined with raw potato starch or raw cassava starch, but high protein food, no, this should be not combined. That I come from exercise and I eat some high protein food, a lot of meat and eggs maybe, so as much as I want, as much as I can. And but then I wait maybe 3-4 hours, maybe 5 hours before I will go to consumption of this raw potato starch or raw cassava starch, and together with this monosodium glutamate and maybe whey protein and other amino acids. Okay, this is, you see how the plasma glutamate responds to monosodium glutamate ingestion in large doses, 11 gram in this case, and you see that it goes 18 times higher concentration of glutamate, and higher concentration of glutamate, it is migrating to muscles, and muscles consume it, and then what is happening, muscles use this glutamate further after exercise to detox, to remove ammonia from the muscle. So this gives much better endurance. Age-related muscle loss, so sarcopenia, is a significant concern in older adults. Amino acids, particularly brain chain amino acids, can stimulate muscle protein synthesis and preserve and even increase lean mass. Combining large doses of whey protein, leucine, glycine, monosodium glutamate, lysine, valine, taurine, betaine, nicotinic acid, and ascorbic acid with raw potato starch or raw cassava starch before bedtime can reduce workload on the digestive system and improve protein utilization. Okay, so you see that I replace in part, of course, not completely, but in part, I replace meat and some animal-based proteins. I replace with amino acids, and then whey protein also work quite well. And then it is gives you benefit. So first benefit, when combined with this starch, a slower, more sustained release of amino acids into the bloodstream during the night could potentially improve the utilization for protein synthesis and reduce rapid spikes in the blood, because if you take too much, then you can have side effects, especially with glycine, for example. If you take a lot of glycine, as I do normally, then you can have blurring of vision, and it is kind of strange effects, but if it is combined with starch, no problem. Even twice higher concentration, no problem at all. And so I believe that again, it is big benefit to slow down and make sustainable release of amino acids to the bloodstream. And then also slower release of ascorbic acid and nicotinic acid to the blood will reduce or eliminate side effects related to intake of these vitamins in mega doses. Okay, so again, I was talking previously that we need a lot of ascorbic acid, 20 gram per day normally. So it is, Linus Pauling recommended about, he was taking himself 18 gram per day, and we consume, you cannot get this amount of vitamin C from fruits, no way. So you have to consume ascorbic acid, and ascorbic acid work as laxative. So if you take large doses, more than 3 grams at once, then you will get diarrhea, osmotic diarrhea, so it is not nice. But when it is combined with starch, you can use larger doses, and then it is relatively easy to get 20 grams of ascorbic acid per day. And ascorbic acid is I was discussed it is very, very good for to suppress virus-infected cells, metabolism of virus-infected cells, cancer cells, and senescent cells. So it is very, very good. And the nicotinic acid is improving detoxing of your body. and also it is pushing your body further to ketosis. Ketosis, if you're already in ketosis, so it is again, and nicotinic acid. But you have to be careful, not increase sharply, and again, but in combination with starch, it works quite well. Pardon. This is how sarcopenia develops, that fat tissue, deposit tissue replace muscles. In elderly people, they're losing muscles, they're losing muscle strength, and they can have traumas. And then after traumas, they cannot recover. They may not recover and they will die. Unfortunately, this is a big problem. But how to convince them to do exercises? Again, what is the problem? They consume meat and they cannot digest it. They feel this discomfort after taking of meat or other animal protein, especially plant protein. So they reduce consumption of protein, but actually it is wrong. Because again, medical professionals recommend to reduce, but then sarcopenia develops. Because digestion of protein is compromised, you have to consume more of protein to get the same level of amino acids in your body to keep your life, to sustain your life. But again, if you consume more, you have digestive issues, you have more toxins produced, and the only way what to do, what I propose, combined with short chain, combined with resistant starch, and resistant starch will accelerate the gut transit time and will suppress production of toxins and will help to detoxify your body, because the secondary bile acids will be removed and from your body with feces, and also that toxins like ammonia will be not produced because you have acidity in the colon, and in acidic conditions ammonia is not getting to the blood. So in this ammonia ion cannot migrate to the blood, only ammonia as a gas can migrate. So if you have acidity, then ammonia is flushing away with feces. So it's again absolutely necessary to consume protein with starch. This is the way. This is what I tell you. And okay, this is again. So in the morning, combining large doses of ascorbic acid, Epsom salt, you need magnesium. Absolutely, all people are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium in elderly people also very important to keep your bones strong. Calcium is, you have enough calcium from water, but magnesium is also, people are deficient. You need magnesium salts. I use Epsom salt because they are very cheap. And any magnesium salt will work. Some work better, like citrate of magnesium work better. I make citrate from magnesium carbonate, mix it with citric acid, make some drink with gas, with carbon dioxide gas, and then so. But I consume this and that. So there is, if you consume too much magnesium, you will get some diarrhea maybe. But again, you have to adjust what amount of magnesium you need. But again, that's lysine. And lysine also cheap and easy to produce. Combine it with ascorbic acid, lysine, and the starch, and it will eliminate side effects. In the colon, resistant starch is fermented by friendly gut bacteria, and the products of fermentation include gases, B vitamins, and short-chain fatty acids. Yeah, so production of gases and fluttering is kind of maybe a problem, especially if you go for exercises. But again, if you go to gym, maybe it is a problem. But I go cycling or swimming, and swimming not in the swimming pool, but I'm swimming in open in the lake, so it is not a problem for me. But if some gases produced, no problem. For me, no problem. So one study found that resistant starch consistently produces more butyrate than other types of dietary fiber. And butyrate works as a miracle. Again, guys, this is so important. So butter, with butter you can increase concentration of butyrate in your blood because it will migrate to your blood from thin intestine, from small intestine, but to have, you need butyrate also in the colon. Okay, butyrate is primarily absorbed and metabolized by mitochondria in colonocytes and the liver. If it is produced from resistant starch, it is it is a source of energy for colonocytes. Without butyrate, colon cells may die. This in mind that if you don't consume any resistant starch, then colon cells may die with all consequences like cancer, like a lot of gastrointestinal stress. Okay, this is so beneficial and so easy and so cheap. The rest of the butyrate may reach systemic blood circulation, allowing it to be distributed to multiple organs. And butyrate is critically important for preservation of blood-brain barrier integrity and to avoid different pathological conditions. Again, you see, butyrate is a miracle. Butter, again, important. Butter will go to the brain. Butyrate from butter will go to the brain, but if you produce it by fermentation in the colon, even better and not cheaper, but I eat butter in the morning, but again, I understand that it is not getting to the colon. So this is how blood-brain barrier work. So you have this, the same like in your intestine, epithelial layer in the intestine have to be tight, have to be impenetrable. So your blood-brain barrier also needs these junctions and these proteins, and these proteins are produced by endothelium cells. And if they get enough of energy, enough of this, and butyrate is absolutely perfect source of energy for this blood-brain barrier. And butyrate plus glutamate and glutamine. Again, this why it works. Again, this is some stuff which is somehow suppressed. Medical professionals now increase. They say, okay, you can consume up to 50 grams of resistant starch a day, but I consume more than 200. Again, there are some, as I said, fluctuants, a little bit side effect, but it depends. You have to adjust your body. You have to get accustomed to this. Don't increase in sharp. You have to get adapted to high content of the starch, but it works. Okay, resistant starch, again, it is so beneficial and so cheap. I buy in grocery stores less than $1 American per kilo cassava starch. And potato starch is not produced in Thailand. I buy it from internet. It is imported, so it is more expensive, but it works the same. Cassava starch is even better, I think. Okay, so you can go to the source of information. You can make your own research. Again, this is not my opinion. I don't invent it. I don't this fantasize. It is not a fantasy. This is a research. And to my surprise, medical professionals don't read scientific publications, especially recent, like 2023, 2024, or this year publications. They don't read them. They understand nothing. Or I don't know, or maybe if you consider the medical treatments as a business, then business is to treat diseases, not to cure them. I'm talking about to cure, to stay healthy. And this is what I do. I am not getting sick even with influenza or common cold, maybe 20 years or longer, I don't know. 20 years, maybe 25 years. I don't have any problem, absolutely nothing. Just eating what is good. And even when I was in Germany, I was not on a strict carnivore diet. I was eating vegetables and this and that, but even then, I was taking magnesium, a lot of magnesium, it helps. And even in Germany, but also I was going to sauna and exercises, so it was working well for me. But even when I moved to Thailand, I was eating a lot of vegetables and fruits, and I got big problems with this, because this created big problems. And then eventually after this research, I decided I give up on consumption of any plant-based food. I rely on this animal-based source of any proteins and vitamins, beef liver for vitamins and meat for proteins, but also eggs, also very, very healthy. And now supplements of amino acids, whey protein. Whey protein is not very expensive, so I think people can afford it. If you cannot afford, okay, buy pea protein. It is so cheap in Thailand. It's less than 10 American dollars per kilo, and if you will calculate, it is kind of 5-6 times cheaper than meat, protein and meat. And protein you cannot digest 2 amino acids, and whey protein and pea protein is much better digested, so it's better to replace a large part of the meat or fish, animal protein, by whey protein or pea protein or amino acids. Amino acids, again, they work perfect. If you have enough vitamins, then muscle growth, you see muscles are growing, endurance is improving, and as I said, somehow this glutamate is not recommended to consume a lot, but glutamate, concentration of glutamate and glutamine in the blood is the highest, and for good reason, because it needs you need glutamate to detoxify your body, and also it is a lot of other functions. So mind that, again, my opinion is different from medical advice. I am not interested to keep you sick. I do this research mostly for myself. If you will support my channel by subscribing and spreading this information, or making some comments, asking questions, it also helps, because I go deeper in my research. But mostly I already got the solution, mostly. There are some details yet, and I have to prove it. Again, problem that, as some of my friends tell me, we will believe you when you will live longer than 120 years. Yeah, I certainly will live longer than 120 years, but unfortunately my friends will not see it, because they are older than me. Some of them are older than me, and they follow some vegetarian diet, and they use a lot of supplements and spend a lot of money on it, because they don't think that so cheap and diet-based approach can extend their lifespan. But again, I rely on nature. Nature shows us that it is possible. Okay, that's all. Thank you for your attention. If you was watching this video till the end, please don't forget to press like and bell buttons. And again, have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao. Okay.